Good morning, everybody. So great to see lots of familiar faces and new names. We're going to have a great day this January 29th, this forever month, if you will. Excited to see folks. We have a great group of people who have registered and will be joining us as their schedule allows throughout the day. We'll just wait another minute for folks to keep coming in. Feel free to say good morning in the chat. And then in just a minute, we're going to ask you to pin yourself on a map on Padlet. So we'll get folks here into the screen, into our call. Excited to talk to you and work with you today on social and emotional well-being for students in an AI world. As we're waiting for some more folks to join us, take a minute to open up our Padlet here. You can either type into a new tab, go.ncsu.edu/SEL AI welcome, and we'll drop that into the chat for you as well to be able to click on it so that you are able to add your pin to our Padlet map. We'd love to see where folks are joining us from across North Carolina, across this country, and even some global representation might be here in this space as well. So I'll leave that up there on the screen. We'll get that into the chat. I'd suggest not to put your specific address, but in general. Good morning, Charmaine from Trinidad and Tobago. Hi, John from New Mexico. Eucalypso from Virginia. Lots of North Carolina folks. Hi, good morning, Lisa. Love to see it. We'll keep coming back to this map, see where folks are joining us from throughout the day. And want to give you a big welcome from the Friday Institute. I'm Emma Broughton. I'm the Director of Digital Learning here, and we have a really unique space. It's part of the College of Ed at NC State University, where we are able to think about, in education, the research, policy, and practice pieces, and how those things really can inform and benefit and impact each other. And so we are located here in Raleigh, North Carolina, as you're joining us. And we have this learning series this year that we're calling Real Issues, Real Data, because we really want to discuss and present topics that are kind of ripped from the headlines, if you will, as we're thinking about what's happening in education. And so one of our colleagues here, Dr. Jose Picart, he's our Deputy Director and Professor of Counselor Education. He really helps us think about how do we empower our teachers and students, and what does that look like? And so in this series, we're really thinking about too, that research really should help us empower others to work more successfully and think about what's happening in our classrooms and schools and how we can benefit, all of our students can benefit from that. And then Dr. Callie Edwards, our Director of Strategic Initiatives and also of our peer research team here at the Friday Institute, really wants to think about how do we learn from our education partners? How do we collaborate together on these problems of practice that have been identified? And how can we use our research as a way to help us explore different pathways to envision a new reality that we don't yet live in? And that's what makes me excited to work here at the Friday Institute, part of the innovation in education that we're really thinking about as part of our work every day, as we work from the classroom to the state board across the country. I want to turn it over to our Executive Director, Dr. Krista Glazewski, to give us a welcome as well. And I'd love to hear her perspective too on our series, Real Issues, Real Data. Krista?
Good morning. Good morning to everyone. Thank you, Emma Broughton, for your leadership in bringing this series together and the visioning for this convening in particular. I want to highlight, I think, just a couple of things that I think, or foreground a couple of things that I think can help guide us as we are working together today, talking together today, and really considering all the issues at play. First and foremost, what we have tried to do throughout this series is ask a broad question around the issues of the day that can impact students and teachers and youth inside and outside of the classroom. And when we do that, I think we're also implicitly valuing a couple things. And I think that one of the things that we are valuing is centering the student first. So instead of centering technology, we are centering the needs and the student first so that we can really ask a broad question, which is where might technology serve students and teachers instead of saying what can technologies do? And I think that's a key distinction here. The second thing I'll add is the idea of centering human decision making. And so I think in any kind of way, especially with this issue in particular, we I don't know how many of us would feel comfortable handing off decision making to an AI driven system um, instead of leveraging the capabilities and capacities of an AI system uh, to empower decision making. And so I think that's a key question. And then finally, supporting ethical and context aware AI. I think it's important to remember that one size does not fit all. We all come from specific contexts and in communities where what might work in one place may not work so well in another place. And so I think really centering the context and prioritizing context aware and ethical uses of AI can carry us much further than a one size fits all strategy. So I look forward to learning with you all today and thinking with you all today around these issues.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's such a great introduction for us as we're thinking about how we can support students as they safely and responsibly engage with AI and really also protect and nurture their social and emotional well-being. I'm joined by some amazing colleagues here at the Friday Institute who've been part of the planning and team to pull this event together. Brittany Miller is one of our research scholars as part of the Professional Learning and Leading Collaborative. Russell Strand-Poole, another research scholar here, and also Jacqueline Stevens, our senior research scholar and interim director for that team. It's been really exciting to think about and really push our own learning around this topic because for a lot of us, we're hearing what's happening in this space with AI. How is this impacting our students? What does that look like? And so as we put the agenda together and we're thinking about our goals, we wanted to make sure that we were spending time understanding and exploring the impact on students and what that meant for them in their context. We also wanted to hear from leaders, experts, researchers on this topic. And we also wanted to hear from you and engage with you. And so the way that we've designed the day has been really intentional for us to think about what that can look like in various conversations and in various presentations. And so you should have access to view this link here, this agenda. You might have had a chance to take a look at it through the email you received, or we'll have it in the chat as well. Both the agenda and the participant materials, Google Doc, will help you navigate throughout the day because we're going to start with our resource roundtables, where we want you to pick one of the 8 topics that are listed here, and you can choose to vote with your mouse. So if you are in an in-person session, you vote with your feet by going to whichever room you prefer. Here, would like you to vote with your mouse. What's the one that you'd like to have a conversation about? Then at 11:15, we'll come back to this main room where we'll hear from some experts who are really digging in critically to this topic. We'll spend our lunchtime with our keynote speaker, Perry Carpenter, before we move into our afternoon breakout sessions from 4 organizations across the country who may provide you with some valuable resources and takeaways to think about this work a little bit differently. And then we'll wrap up with the fireside chat, some reflection and some feedback as a whole group again in this main Zoom room. So that's how we will spend our day together. This agenda will be hopefully something that will be useful for you, a one-stop shop for you to gather all of the links and materials that you'll need to navigate throughout the day.